Home, Chapter 33. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork provided by XAA. You can find a link to the artist's Tumblr in the description box. If you haven't already, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comments section. If you don't know what to comment, put Marinette's birthday. As usual, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. If you've made it this far, I feel like I've kind of earned it at that point, but I don't want to sound entitled, so oops. And please enjoy Chapter 33. Marinette Dupang Chang. The problem with promising to wait for a boyfriend at home is that you actually had to get home before said boyfriend does. There were too many close calls over the years when Cat got home before she did, and now, more than ever, she didn't want him to find out she was Ladybug. Not by accident, at least. Thankfully, she was able to plant the idea of flowers in his brain as Ladybug so she would have time to redo her hair and touch up her makeup before he got back. The last thing she wanted was to look like a disheveled mess on her birthday. She wanted to look like a dream for him today, because even though it was her birthday, it seemed to be more important to him than it was for her. Last year, he didn't know it was her birthday, then felt horrible about missing it. She knew he'd gone overboard this year, despite not knowing the itinerary for this evening. If this superheroine thing didn't work out, Marinette could probably pass for an actress or model, because whenever Cat returned, she'd pick out a position to lounge in like she'd been there the whole time, and act like she didn't know what happened during the Akuma fight. That was talent, although she definitely slipped up a few times. While Marinette expected peonies from her beloved boyfriend, she didn't expect a bouquet that surpassed her shoulder length. Instead of focusing on the boy carrying a small tree of flowers and wearing a sheepish grin, Marinette found herself wondering if she'd be able to wrap her wingspan around the stems. "What a delightful surprise!" she fibbed, thanking him with a kiss that smelled like peonies. He caught her before she could step away, pulling her in for a second kiss. Oof. She felt herself smile, downgrading the quality of the kiss, but upgrading her mood. "Ready to go?" he asked, breaking away and offering her a garden's worth of blossoms. Anxiety twisted her stomach. Did she want to go? Yes, but then again, she didn't. She'd made up her mind that she'd tell Cat Noir she was Ladybug, and even though Marinette made the decision to tell him at least half a dozen times by now, she'd chickened out of every opportunity, natural or forced. "How are we getting there?" Cat stared at her, but she couldn't figure it out. Was she supposed to know? Marinette, he began. Yes? I think I made a mistake. What's wrong? He shifted his weight. So, the restaurant's about an hour out of town. Yes, and? What was the problem? Unless he thought to carry her all the way out. Oh. I, didn't think about how we'd get there. And it'd be too suspicious for Adrian to take me in a car. I can keep the mask on and get an Uber. No. I've got a better idea. Marinette sighed, but not in disappointment, as she pulled out her phone. Modern-day problems require modern-day solutions. Takeout? He asked, looking at the screen. I was thinking of delivery, if you're up for it. You're handing me the phone so I pay for it, huh? It's my birthday! He laughed, taking it in stride. He said he was going to pay for tonight earlier anyway. Sure, I'll order something, then tell the restaurant they won't see us tonight. Thanks. Sushi is expensive, after all. Looking at the feast in front of her, Marinette knew she couldn't pay Cat back even if she wanted to. He'd been able to pull strings and favors from 3 different restaurants to get food there within a half hour during peak dining time. Forget a 4-course meal. This was at least 7 with 3 different types of cuisines. It was enough to feed her and her parents for days just on leftovers. That, and she didn't want to know what price tag came with elite dining such as this. Small talk came and went, but it seemed like Cat was just as nervous as she was. Why? She was the one with the big secret to reveal. So, she began, not realizing he started a sentence. Sorry, you go first. No, he brushed off a chuckle. You, I insist. Have you ever... Did you ever figure out Ladybug's identity? He looked up, attention focused on the unexpected question. No, I stopped trying about a year ago. Not even an idea? No. I'm not saying I don't care, but I'm not... Cat adjusted his posture. Never mind. What? Doesn't matter. Come on, Cat. It's between me and her. That was enough to silence her. If only he knew how much harder that made it for her to say what she'd been trying to for the better part of a year. Cat, she tried again, feeling herself beginning to shake as she thought of the dreaded question. It's between you and me. Come again? Cat didn't look at her as he went after a piece of ahimaki. It was clear he didn't pick up on how life-changing her remark would be after it gestated. It's because... The words choked in her throat. Come on, Marinette. You're Ladybug. You're fearless, mentally strong, capable, dependable, and totally frozen stiff at the idea of telling your partner you're his girlfriend. But he can't get mad at her because it's her birthday, right? She knew it was a cop-out, but it was the best she could come up with at the moment. You're what? What's wrong? Cat asked, looking up to meet her eyes. Do you need to use the bathroom or something? As grateful as she was for how comfortable they were with discussing such things with the other, that's not even close to what she was going for. I'm... Sugar and cookies, just say it, Marinette. I'm Lady... You're a Lady Noir shipper? Cat filled in, shoveling a piece in his mouth. I know she and I have chemistry, but I never thought you'd go so far as... No, Cat, How was it this hard? I'm Ladybug! He stared at her, still chewing on the maki. You okay there, Bluebell? She slumped her head into her hands, inflicted with self-embarrassment. Ladybug, she muttered. Why couldn't she say it to his face? Eye contact included. When she looked up, Marinette saw Cat Noir staring at her, his face blank and unreadable. Had he heard her? Oh no, he had! Oh, that's not how she wanted this to go. She wanted to say it to his face, not to her arms. Oh, that, and the way he was looking at her. He'd never looked at her that way before. The only time she'd ever seen that expression on his face was after conversations with his father. If this look was from dealing with his father, Marinette could comfort him. But now, Marinette didn't know how to respond. Should she hold him? Apologize? Ask for his thoughts? His eyes flicked away from hers when they made contact, and it was like a knife to the gut. Cat? She asked, feeling her body tremble. Are you going to... Are you going to leave? I'd like to say that's wonderful news. Cat's voice was hollow, but I can't process it in the moment. Cat? I'm not saying I'm going to pretend to not know, because you said it. It's out there, and I believe you, but... He turned his attention to his chopsticks, picking up another maki piece sprinkled with togarashi pepper. But I'd like to... He sighed, still putting a sentence together. Can I spend this evening with my girlfriend and think about this later? His low, almost defeated-sounding tone of voice made her heart ache. She nodded and picked up her set of chopsticks, turning her attention to a roll garnished with some kind of red sauce. She dare not start a conversation for fear of saying the wrong thing or making it seem like she took the situation lightly, but the air between them was too heavy to bear. Finally, Marinette decided she had enough and threw her chopsticks down. Cat, she began. No. Adrian, she corrected. Look at me. He looked up, his face still dead to emotion. He didn't answer her, choosing to stare instead. Yeah, it was a lot to take in, considering he had no idea the girl he confided in for the last year about his relationship was the girl he was in the relationship with, but Marinette couldn't handle the consequences of the news. No, she was going to talk to him properly over dinner, and then he could take all the time he needed on his own. He could take all the time he needed, or get mad and explode. She'd accept any consequence, but only after she laid all the cards on the table. Okay, Marinette, you can do this. Time to lay all the cards on the table. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 34 is on the way. If you haven't already, please subscribe to stay up to date on the latest parts of your favorite fanfiction, including this one, and comment sushi dinner if you're still listening. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!